The episode begins by introducing Nandi, a university professor, and her husband, Leonard, a successful prosecutor. Their once-loving relationship has become cold and distant. Nandi is emotionally unfulfilled, and Leonard seems preoccupied with his career. Subtle clues, such as Leonard's dismissive tone and lack of affection, highlight their marital strain. The emotional turmoil between Nandi and her husband Leonard reaches a boiling point during a tense confrontation, where Leonard's dismissive attitude and preoccupation with work leave Nandi feeling isolated and unvalued. Nandi also suffers from memories of her recent miscarriage. Amidst this conflict, their daughter Zinal emerges as a calming presence, showcasing her maturity and emotional intelligence. Sensing her mother's distress, Zinal approaches Nandi with empathy and understanding, encouraging her to open up about her feelings and frustrations. She reassures Nandi that everything will be okay, emphasizing the strong bond they share as mother and daughter. One night, Nandi discovers a text message on Leonard's phone from another woman, which she suspects is evidence of infidelity. Although Leonard denies any wrongdoing, his aloof behavior leaves Nandi doubting his honesty. All these events made Nandi to feel as a woman who is isolated with a careless man. Nandi confides in her bold and carefree best friend, Brenda, about her marital frustrations. Brenda, who views monogamy skeptically, suggests they go on a weekend getaway to help Nandi clear her mind. Brenda encourages Nandi to consider what she truly wants from life, subtly planting the idea that exploring her desires might be the key to happiness. During the trip to a luxurious coastal resort, Nandi and Brenda unwind with drinks and laughter. As they relax on the beach, they notice Jacob, a strikingly handsome and mysterious man. Jacob introduces himself and strikes up a playful conversation with both women, but it's clear his attention is focused on Nandi. His confidence and charm immediately intrigue her. That day evening, Brenda and Nandi head to a vibrant local bar where they unexpectedly meet Jacob again. Over drinks and dancing, Jacob's flirtation becomes more direct, and Nandi struggles to resist his advances. Brenda subtly encourages Nandi, teasing her about Jacob's obvious attraction. During a private conversation, Jacob listens intently as Nandi talks about her struggles, making her feel seen and desired in a way she hasn't felt in years. Jacob escorts Nandi back to her room under the guise of ensuring her safety. Their charged conversation leads to a moment of vulnerability where Nandi admits she feels trapped in her marriage. Jacob reassures her, and the tension between them culminates in a passionate kiss. The next morning, Nandi wakes up overwhelmed with guilt. Jacob tries to convince her that their connection was real and meaningful, but Nandi insists it was a mistake. As she prepares to leave, Jacob gives her a lingering look that suggests he's not ready to let go. Brenda, noticing Nandi's unease, jokes about the affair, encouraging her to treat it as a harmless fling and move on. Nandi returns home from a weekend getaway where she had an intimate night with Jacob. As she enters her home, she is met with an unexpected sight. Vuyo and Jacob are sitting together, casually watching a basketball game. The atmosphere is charged with tension, as Nandi is acutely aware of the implications of her recent actions. She feels a mix of guilt and anxiety, knowing that Jacob is now intertwined in her life in a way that complicates her already strained marriage with Leonard. This moment serves as a stark reminder of the choices she has made and the secrets she must now navigate, setting the stage for the unfolding drama and emotional turmoil that will characterize her relationships throughout the series. Nandi experiences a vivid dream while sleeping, where she finds herself in a swimming pool with Jacob. The dream is filled with romantic moments, highlighting their intense connection and the passion they share. However, the dream takes a dark turn when Leonard arrives with Amira, witnessing their intimate interaction. In a fit of rage, Leonard pulls out a gun and aims it at Jacob, creating a sense of impending danger and betrayal. Nandi wakes up abruptly, shaken by the nightmare and its implications. As she gathers herself, she notices Leonard's phone nearby and sees a text message from Amira that reads, "I've booked the venue and honeymoon suite." This revelation ignites a surge of anger and mistrust towards Leonard, amplifying her feelings of insecurity about their marriage. The combination of her unsettling dream and the text message from Amira deepens Nandi's suspicions about Leonard's fidelity and intentions, setting the stage for the emotional turmoil that will unfold throughout the series. In the final scene, Nandi is teaching in her classroom when she is taken by surprise as Jacob enters, revealing that he is now one of her students. This unexpected encounter creates a charged atmosphere, filled with unspoken tension and unresolved feelings from their previous romantic involvement. As Nandi tries to maintain her professionalism, the presence of Jacob stirs a mix of emotions within her, highlighting the complexities of their relationship and the risks involved in their affair. Simultaneously, a contrasting narrative unfolds as Brenda's housemaid discovers Brenda's lifeless body in her room. This shocking revelation adds a layer of urgency and dread to the scene, intertwining Nandi's personal struggles with the unfolding mystery surrounding Brenda's death. With you soon, with Nandi, visibly shaken, as she realizes that Jacob, a young man she had a romantic encounter with, is now her student. This revelation sends her into a panic, and she hastily exits the building where she encountered him. Jacob tries to apologize, but Nandi is too flustered to engage in conversation, insisting he address her as Professor instead of using her first name. Meanwhile, police officers are investigating Brenda's death. They initially label it a suicide due to her troubled past and guilt over a previous incident involving a missing student. However, as they sift through evidence at the crime scene, they discover condoms and male bodily fluids, which complicates the narrative surrounding her death. Vuyo, Brenda's boyfriend and an ex-cop, is deeply affected by this news and confronts Nandi about her connection to Brenda. Vuyo arrives home from a night out at the club, feeling a mix of exhilaration and sorrow. As he steps into his dimly lit living room, memories of his time with Brenda flood his mind. Her laughter, their intimate conversations, and the warmth of her presence. Despite the lively atmosphere of the club, Vuyo feels an overwhelming sense of emptiness without her. He recalls moments when they shared dreams and plans for the future, which now seem shattered in light of her tragic death. The guilt weighs heavily on him as he reflects on their relationship and the secrets that surrounded it, particularly Brenda's complicated feelings for Leonard, Vuyo's brother. This internal conflict intensifies as he grapples with the realization that Brenda had been deeply unhappy and felt unloved, especially as she faced the impending anniversary celebration that Leonard was planning with Nandi. The flashback serves to highlight Vuyo's unresolved emotions, his love for Brenda mixed with regret and a sense of betrayal, setting the stage for his subsequent actions as he seeks answers and justice in the wake of her death. Nandi enters her home. She is overwhelmed by a flood of memories of her intimate moments with Jacob. The recollection of their passionate nights together fills her with a mix of longing and guilt, as she reflects on the connection they shared and the emotional escape he provided from her troubled life. This moment of nostalgia is abruptly shattered when Leonard, her husband, arrives home and delivers the devastating news that Brenda has died by suicide. His words hit Nandi like a ton of bricks, plunging her into a state of disbelief and horror. The juxtaposition of her tender memories with Jacob against the harsh reality of Brenda's death creates a poignant emotional conflict within her, highlighting the tragic consequences of the relationships and choices that have led to this moment. This scene encapsulates the themes of love, betrayal, and tragedy that permeate the narrative, setting the stage for the unfolding drama surrounding Nandis fate. The police confront Nandi to question her about Brenda's death. The atmosphere is tense and charged with emotion. Nandi is still reeling from the shock of Brenda's suicide. They begin by asking her about her relationship with Brenda and any interactions they may have had leading up to the tragic event. Nandi, feeling vulnerable and defensive, attempts to maintain her composure while answering their questions. The investigators probe into her whereabouts on the night of Brenda's death, scrutinizing her alibi and any potential motives she might have had. As the questioning intensifies, Nandi's anxiety grows. She fears that her affair with Jacob and the secrets surrounding her personal life might be exposed. The police's persistent inquiries force Nandi to confront not only her grief, but also the tangled web of relationships that could implicate her in Brenda's demise, heightening the sense of dread and uncertainty surrounding the investigation. Nandi discovers a payment proof for jewelry that Leonard bought for his side chick. Her world comes crashing down. As she sifts through a paper, she stumbles upon the receipt, which sends her into a spiral of betrayal and heartbreak. Just as she processes the shocking revelation, Leonard's phone buzzes with a text message from that woman, stating, Don't worry, it will be our secret. Nandi will not know. This message deepens her anguish, solidifying her worst fears about Leonard's infidelity. Overwhelmed by emotions, Nandi drives past Jacob's garage while tears stream down her face, reflecting her inner turmoil and sense of loss. When Jacob approaches her car, concerned and wanting to offer support, she avoids any conversation and drives away silently, leaving him confused and worried. This moment encapsulates Nandi's feelings of isolation and despair as she grapples with the dual betrayals of her husband and the emotional connection she has with Jacob, setting the stage for further complications in her life. Tomorrow we see Nandi is in the classroom and sees Jacob. She struggles to continue with her lesson due to the emotional weight of their past encounter. The sight of him brings back vivid memories of their intimacy, making it difficult for her to focus on her teaching duties. After class, Nandi seeks a moment of respite and finds a quiet place where they can talk. During their conversation, she opens up to Jacob about her family problems, revealing the strain in her marriage with Leonard and the feelings of isolation she experiences. This exchange allows Nandi to express her vulnerabilities, highlighting her emotional turmoil and the complexities of her relationship with Jacob. Their dialogue deepens their connection, as Nandi seeks solace in Jacob's understanding, while also grappling with the consequences of their affair and the secrets that threaten to unravel both their lives. Vuyo and the police, they uncover crucial evidence that leads them to believe Brenda was murdered rather than having taken her own life. Vuyo, still reeling from the emotional fallout of Brenda's death, is determined to find the truth. The police, equipped with new information, begin to piece together a timeline that suggests foul play may have been involved. They explore the possibility of a deeper conspiracy surrounding Brenda's death, fueled by Vuyo's suspicions about someone between them involved due to their past affair and the complicated dynamics at play. That day, Nandi goes to Jacob's garage for another intimate encounter. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation and desire. After grappling with her emotions and the complexities of her life, Nandi seeks solace in Jacob, drawn to him despite the risks involved. Upon arriving at the garage, she finds Jacob working on a car, and their chemistry is undeniable. As they exchange flirtatious banter, the tension builds until it culminates in a passionate moment where they give in to their desires. Their intimacy serves as an escape for Nandi from her troubled marriage and the mounting pressures of her life, allowing her to momentarily forget her guilt and responsibilities. This encounter not only reinforces their connection but also highlights Nandi's internal struggle as she navigates her feelings for Jacob while dealing with the fallout of her choices. Leonard goes to see Nandi at the college. He is filled with anticipation, hoping to reconnect with her amidst the growing tension in their marriage. Upon arriving, he learns from one of Nandi's colleagues that she is not at work and has gone home because she is not feeling well. Concerned, Leonard attempts to call Nandi, but his calls go unanswered, and he notices that she is not available online. This moment heightens Leonard's sense of unease and suspicion, as he begins to wonder about Nandi's state of mind and whether her absence is linked to her recent emotional struggles and their strained relationship. The lack of communication between them underscores the growing rift in their marriage, leaving Leonard feeling increasingly isolated and uncertain about the future of their relationship. The scene shifts to the nightclub where Zinel starts receiving texts from a wrong number. She is initially perplexed and amused by the unexpected messages. As she shares this development with her friend Laura, they speculate about who might be sending the texts and why. Zinel's curiosity grows as the messages continue, and she finds herself intrigued by the mystery of the sender. This moment serves as a lighthearted distraction from the more serious issues surrounding her family and their relationships. The playful banter between Zinel and Laura highlights their friendship and provides a brief respite from the darker themes of betrayal and deceit that permeate the series. Vuyo approaches Nandi with a heavy heart and a sense of urgency after discovering semen in the room where Brenda had slept before her death. This shocking revelation leads him to question Nandi about who had been with Brenda that night. As he presses her for answers, Nandi firmly denies that Brenda was with anyone else, revealing instead that she is the one who had spent the night with a man because her husband slept with other women, which complicates matters significantly since Vuyo is Leonard's brother. The surprise and betrayal hit Vuyo hard as he processes this information, realizing the implications of Nandi's admission on their family dynamics and his own feelings of loyalty. Overwhelmed by the weight of the situation and the emotional turmoil it brings, Nandi decides to go to college abruptly, leaving Vuyo alone to grapple with the shocking truth and its potential consequences for both their lives and their relationships with Leonard and Brenda. As the movie ends, we see Jacob in his room looking at Nandi's pictures that he took without her knowledge. Serves as a poignant culmination of his complex feelings. This moment reveals Jacob's obsession with Nandi, who he has been secretly watching as part of his broader plan for revenge against Leonard, her husband. Despite his initial intentions to cause harm due to the past injustices faced by his family, Jacob finds himself genuinely falling for Nandi, complicating his emotions and motives. As he gazes at the photo, it symbolizes not just his infatuation but also the moral conflict he faces between love and vengeance. This scene encapsulates the themes of desire, betrayal, and the consequences of past actions that permeate the series, leaving viewers with a sense of unresolved tension regarding Jacob's next steps and the impact on Nandi's life. Your views, likes, and comments mean the world to me and motivate me to create even more engaging content as I end our recap. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your support. Creating these movie recaps is no easy task. It requires a lot of time and effort to ensure that I capture the essence of each film while keeping it engaging for you. Your encouragement through watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing truly motivates me to continue sharing these cinematic journeys with you. If you enjoyed this recap and want to see more in the future, I kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel. Your support not only helps me grow, but also inspires me to keep bringing you the best movie content possible. Thank you for being a part of this adventure, and I look forward to sharing more exciting recaps with you soon.